Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick. Today we have the Destructoid. And this is set number 70726, and it's a rebooted Ninjago set from 2014. And this was I don't think this was released at exactly the same time as the first wave, because it was like a store exclusive. So it was a little bit later to come out. I believe it was exclusive to Target. And it retailed for $35 and contains 253 pieces and 3 minifigures. The whole build of the set is the, Destructoid, where it gets its name from, and it's a little tracked vehicle. These do, appear in the show, and they have, I guess, a little bit of importance. You see Nia take one, take one over and use it to reach the Temple of Fortitude, or try to, at least, in episode 34. And they're also seen, used by the Ninjagoids throughout the season a couple times. So, they're not just like some made-up thing, but they're interesting. They're a tracked vehicle, so they move back and forth like this. And you can see, as you move it back and forth, these blades chop up and down. And that's just a very, very simple Technic mechanism, just as you turn the wheel. This lift arm turns and it will, bump the blade up and down, gravity. You can get it misaligned, so you can have it chop like that, or you can have them chop more evenly spaced, or you can get them to a point where they basically go up and down at the same time, just because they're not, linked together, they're independent. But it also has arms that move. You got the sword arm, and you can pose that all around. Basic mech posability. And you also have the saw arm, which you could see as like a shield. I think it almost looks like that. But you can spin it just with this gear on the back and use it as a saw blade. The other thing that you can do, this isn't advertised that way or anything, but if you move it right, you can get it to a position where it will rub up against the tracks and kind of turn as it spins as well, which does kind of look cool. The rest of it does turn around 360 degrees, so you can, spin it around whatever direction, maybe you want to turn really quickly, so you just turn around completely 360 degrees and just drive that way. If you're playing with it, it can be, used a couple different ways, and kids would probably see that as fun. It has this cool design up at the front. I like the way it looks from this angle with the trans red behind the spinner crown. I like the use of that piece. These are printed, these discs, and these are stickers. And other than that, there are some stickers in the console. You can stand Cryptor up a little bit higher if you wanted to, so he looks a little bit more menacing up above that. But other than that, there's plenty of room to stand a couple figures in there. You can have, Cryptor, Mindroid. You could probably get 3, maybe 4 if you really squeeze it. And there is a flag on the back, which, is kind of just a flag, but it's there. Also, there's another clip, so you could detach Cryptor's weapon if you wanted to. But that's, pretty much all there is to the vehicle build. It's kind of like it's unique. I don't think they've done anything quite like this from Ninjago, and the color scheme works well with the Ninjagoids. I think that it's a cool little vehicle, but it's not, it feels a little bit on the small side for a $35 price point, but that could just be me. There's also a shooting feature, and this right here is the trigger. If you pull this back and let go, a disc will get shot out, and you just load them right back in here. The first one went flying away, but you get 3 total. And you can just reload that. It's rubber band powered. It's a very similar mechanism to that of the Pizza Planet truck set from Toy Story, which is one of my favorite sets of all time. So, just building that mechanism kind of was a cool thing for me, but that's just nostalgia talking. It really has nothing to do with the actual set, but they do shoot right out of this little slot right there, you can see. And these also could be seen as laser cannons, so you could view that as additional firepower if you wanted to. Alright, so the first two figures we're going to take a look at are the Ninjagoids in the set. Cryptor appears in several other sets, including the $20 Kai Fighter, which is cheaper than this one, so it could be better to get him that way if all you want is a Cryptor figure, so he should not be the main draw to this set. His weapon is a weapon. I like the axe blades in transparent red, but other than that, it's nothing special. Also, Mindroid gets this little dagger or sai, which kind of works as a spear at this size. And the actual figures themselves, they both have the same mask, which is a really, really awesome piece. I've always loved this part, but it is the same. It's not anything unique. Their faces, this one is the standard Ninjagoid face for Mindroid, and Cryptor gets the Cryptor face. Again, they both appear in several other sets, and the actual printing gives you both examples of Ninjagoid torso print in one set, which is, it's good to get a little variety. And there are the back prints for both of them. I think they're both good prints and work well. I really like the shoulder armor piece for Cryptor. The actual figures, I think, as always with the Ninjagoid characters, are really, really good. I think maybe could have included one more. However, I do really, really appreciate the inclusion of Mindroid as an official figure, because obviously it's not that... Ooh, his arm does not want to move. But it's not that hard to just make your own, take a regular Ninjagoid and put short legs on it, and you'd have this figure. But it's really nice that they included him, and it makes it desirable. I think it would have been nice if he had an exclusive print, maybe for the face, just to make him like a little bit completely unique, 100% to himself. But I think him being a character in this set is gonna be a draw. I don't think it should be because he has no exclusive parts or prints. But for better or worse, he is exclusive to this set. So I think that gives you a nice little bonus if you do get this set. I think he is kind of a disappointing figure. However, I wouldn't really expect too much more because he does look exactly like that in the show. So there's not really much that they could have done besides change up the face a little. Rebooted Zane. He's exclusive to this set, right? No, not really. He was originally labeled as limited edition on the, or I think the set was labeled as limited edition on the box. Yeah, I think that's how it worked. And the Zane figure was currently exclusive to the set at the time it was released. And it was really cool, because you could get like a rebooted version of Zane, and it's awesome, yeah. I mean, I love the torso print on this guy. It looks really good. I've always loved the rebooted suits. It's one of my favorites, favorite designs from the show. His face is standard Zane expression, so, there's that. But, I mean, it's a really clean, good-looking version of this guy. I like the hairpiece, too. This was one of the, first wave of sets where the Ninja included their hairpieces. Also, the Technoblade is cool in this color. Zane did appear in another regular release rebooted set from the first wave, and that was the Ninja Copter, which, obviously he should be in that set because it's kind of his vehicle. But he was in his battle damage version, which I think is a really, really cool figure and is nice to have in a bigger set like that. But I do think that this is an important one to have as well, just so you have the whole team just in their regular rebooted suits. So it was very important that they made this at one point or another. And putting it in this set, leaving it exclusive would have been fine, but they decided to also release it in a character encyclopedia, or a visual dictionary or something. And I think that was a bad decision, putting it in that book instead of leaving it just here, because it made this set less, special, but it also made that book less special, and there was really no point in buying it if you had this set, or, the other way around. But I think it's a really good figure. I just kind of wish it was exclusive to this set or exclusive to the book. I wish they picked one. So, the Destructoid. I think that this is an important set because it was actually one of the only 3 sets, one of them being a really small one, that had like a Ninjago vehicle, with the exception of Overborg Attack, but that didn't appear in the show, and it wasn't really like a Ninjago vehicle. But I think that this is one of the best for building up like an army of Ninjagoids. However, I don't know if it's really worth the price. $35 feels like a lot for the volume of stuff you get here. You do get 3 figures, but nowadays, and I think back then too, you usually got 3 figures in $20 sets too. Only has 253 pieces, and not many of them are big. The only arguments I could see are maybe the treads and the saw are dragging the price up a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't feel like the volume here is the same as, say, the Boulder Blaster or the Chondricopter Attack, or even like Jay's Dragon. All those are a little bit more recent, but I can't think of any from the year before this. And those are all only $30. This is $35. I don't think that extra $5 increase was justified at all, and I think personally it should have been a $25 set to begin with, because it doesn't feel like you're getting your money's worth at $35 or even $30 really. I don't think that it's, you know, a bad set. I just don't think it was worth full price then, and it's definitely not worth full price now. So, you know, I mean, especially with the Rebooted kind of being gone. If you're a big fan of Rebooted and you like the Ninjagoids as, you know, a villain army and you want to get Ninjagoid stuff, this is a good set for you. I think you'll like it. I think the vehicle design is interesting enough. I just don't think it was worth that price. The figures are good, but they're not really exclusive, so I wouldn't base a purchase of this set specifically on the figures. It is, you know, a good way to get this Zane, and I think that that's the main draw. Ninjago being in here is an added bonus, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. If you did, let me know, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.